Hello everyone! Hey. So, my name's Sugi Yamagawa, and today on VTubing my slow life hobbies in my 30s, we're gonna be campfire cooking. So, basically doing one of my favorite things today. And we're also gonna be making a recipe from one of my favorite anime. And that is campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill. And gotta love light novel titles and their absurdity. But yeah, we're gonna be making spaghetti with meat sauce. Oh, good morning, Lillian. How are you? You having a good day? I gotta say, I'm actually having a pretty good day. I actually got to play board games with my sister and brother-in-law last night, which was really fun. And also see my little niece and nephew. Oh. And actually did pretty good on sleep, too. Yeah. Even with the crazy fall back and all that fun shenaniganness. I personally, I truly wish we could get away from the whole daylight savings time thing, but it's a thing and I gotta live with it. Hopefully. Hopefully we'll change things at some point. Don't know if that's gonna ever happen or not, but so actually might as well go ahead and just get the fire going. And then ooh, it's weak, but it's going. It's going. Oh, did that? Oh, there. Nope. That worked to my favor. That worked to my favor. Yes! Probably can't see it much, but we have a small flame that we're gonna make a lot bigger. Oh, man. But it's definitely taking time. But I guess that's fine. I can wait. I can wait a little bit. Just a little bit, though. Gosh. Granted, so, because I didn't get any trick-or-treaters, I did offload some of my like extra Halloween candy onto my sister's family. Because I like candy, but I don't need like a whole thing of like all the not firewood, all the Halloween candy. I don't need all. Pieces of kindling. Fire going. We'll do tea as per usual, and then we'll start cutting veg. I will say that's one of the like nice things about like this pallet wood I have here is it's really dry. It's really dry and it just fire easily. Okay. I'd appreciate it if you could over here. Thank you. You're at a point to where do that piece there. In parallel, because I wouldn't mind going a little bit more vertical with them, but I don't quite have that option with how long the pieces are. I think, I don't know. I have a little bit of a gap between like the height of this firewood and where like my grill grate's gonna be. Hopefully that will help send the fire in that direction. Granted, I could also just put a actual proper piece of oak firewood over that. We don't need the lighter in it. We already got flame has been established. I always seem to have never enough table space for when I do any of this stuff, but that's just also because there's a whole bunch of equipment and stuff, and because I'm always like breaking down the setup and then putting it back together. It's really hard to like really establish a like this is what I need to do sort of thing. But yeah. Go ahead. Add on there. That would be like that, and then I can get all the firewood debris off where I'm gonna be cooking. Because, you know, you kind of want your cooking area to be clean. Kind of smallish. Kind of small. Go ahead and pull that bar in. Trying to think about how I want to handle it. Good. That. Yep. It was like right at that like level. So if I take this, place that there. I'll just get into that direction. Then hopefully once this piece here burns, that will drop that, and then I can pull my grill grate where I want it. So we're just gonna let that sit for a little bit, and since I can't set everything up for my hot tea, I do have a bottle of my nearly preferred green tea. I like this tea. It's good tea, but I like their Itoen's bold green tea flavor. Granted, the standard green tea is nice. The reason I'm drinking this and not the bold is because Costco carries this, but doesn't carry the bold green tea, for reasons I don't know. Ooh, yeah. But looks like we definitely got a pretty good fire going, though. And it's definitely going to be... It's definitely burning the oak a little bit. I hear a little bit of whistling out of the oak. But hopefully one of the things that the EP woodshed build that I've got going on will fix is actually having better cured firewood. Let's see. Probably should. While we're letting this do its thing, get next stuff. Waiting for a thing, always prep for the next. Something. But granted, I will say, I am having an absolutely lovely time with this weather today. So right now, the air temperature is about 60. Yeah, I think it's about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm having really comfortable weather for doing this. Not super hot, which is nice. Granted, I almost want to... Because Because I'm thinking at some point I will want to make like a metal thing that I could probably attach to like this piece of plywood that comes up maybe about 6-8 inches or so. Just enough so that way if I set stuff here, it doesn't just get like blasted by the radiant heat of the fire. Granted, once some of this stuff really starts to die down, it won't be as much of a problem. But I gotta wait for things to get to that point. That should be close to breaking. So, see here. If I pull you on over, how level do we got everything? Or are you just gonna be resting on top of that wood? Ooh, I am missing my mark. Ooh, and I'm also not on great like I would like, so actually let's go to this side of the world. If I can get that, I just gotta disengage. Whoop, whoop. I really don't know why it has like this one like pull out thing here, but it does for reasons I do not know, because I'm literally just using a grill grate for like a gas grill, which is probably the reason why it kind of looks a little warped and bent and stuff, because it wasn't meant for this as high of a level of heat and action. Granted, I'm just assuming that a wood fire is warmer than a standard propane fire. I feel like I should know that answer. I know propane burns warmer than natural gas, but I don't know by like how much more. It's been a while since I've been to school, so. Ugh. Yeah. Man, I just got like my gloves like all the grubby. My right hand on. Whoa. Go ahead. Crack you open. And we're gonna get some water for hot tea going. I actually can. But yeah, that fire's putting out heat now. I think I should just go ahead and throw all of this 2-liter I have at it. Because I think today's going to be a little demanding with our water needs. Because pasta. Okay. Need to set you over there, so that way you're out of the way. And big heft. Oh. Actually, that should be good. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Then wiggles out of my glove. Glove goes to the side. Oh. Woo. It's warming up my green tea bottle. And pre-warming my glass. But our first hot tea of the evening, well, morning. I normally stream in the evening, so it's a little weird, but yeah, we'll be going with English breakfast. I actually just picked this up today. It was on sale. Well, it was on sale, and I had a coupon for it, so. Always like it when I can get stuff with a coupon. That's paper. It's a fun thing with paper. You can just toss it on the end of the fire. Not gonna do any harm. Plastic and stuff Definitely will. Definitely not good. Definitely not a good... Definitely not a thing you want to do for environmental reasons and your own health reasons. Especially considering the fact we're going to be cooking on this today. I'm going to be letting... I'm trying to think. Order of operation. First thing will be veg, but... Go ahead and start that or not. Granted, I just don't know how long it's going to take for this to burn down. And I will say, the fun thing with the morning streams is that the fire actually looks like fire, which is real nice. Granted, I know at some point I do want to upgrade my camera for my setup, but I don't know what I would want to get, and who knows, I think where I'm at, I should be able to like get a new camera for like a Christmas upgrade for my setup. Man, I'm hearing that water boil. Because normally I wait until I actually have steam coming out of the pot. And past research, well, past experience has said that is waiting too long. Because the water gets too warm. There we go. Ooh. Did I get decent steam out of it? No. Not steaming. Which is fine. Okay. Okay, we'll just do that much. And we'll see how that turns out. Ooh. Because I'm feeling it with my, like, finger to gauge the heat. That's actually probably a really good temp. Maybe a little cool. But considering how absolutely, like, nuclear boiling past tea has turned out here. Yeah, we'll just splash that, and I think what I'll do is I'll actually return this to the fire. Gosh, I love the cast iron tea kettle. It keeps heat really well, but the thing is heavy. It is heavy. But yeah, the flames are starting to die down, which is good. It's actually really good, because it means we're actually starting to burn down a bit closer to what we want. And like we're a decent amount into this fire, and you know what? I'm pretty comfortable. Normally on these campfire cooking streams, I'll be boiling, and today I'm not, and it's lovely. It is truly lovely. Let's see here. Yeah, that tea's gonna turn out amazing. That's probably like okay, so that is probably gonna be my one oversight for today. Is did not re-grab my paper towels. Preparing for these streams is like going on like a trip, or even like a camping trip. I always forget something. I guess today's paper towels. Which, that's a pretty benign thing to forget. We'll do a bit more. And then we can just... all that can just go over the fire. So I will say now, I'm going to try and stay pretty close to the recipe from the show, but I will deviate a little bit from the recipe simply because in the show, the only veg that... well, I'm actually going to deviate in two ways. I'm going to add two things that wasn't added in the show. The first is going to be garlic, because garlic makes everything better. It's just how the universe works. Actually, I can just do that. Bloop! And then the other thing I'm going to add is I'm going to add peppers. And the reason I'm doing peppers to like the sauce is simply because I have a lot, like a lot, and I want to get as many of them used up before they start going bad. And they're kind of starting to go bad. I definitely... I overgrew peppers this year, like terribly. And that's actually gonna reflect in my garden planning going into next year. Which I'm thinking maybe as like a... I think it would be kind of fun to do, would be to do like a garden planning stream at some point. Where kind of like I review what grew well this year, what didn't do so well, and what I would like to do going into the next year. I think I could have fun with that. Push you off because I don't want you sitting on my grate. But yeah, once we do get this first onion, we'll then I'll get that kettle off. Ah, hey now. You're causing me to slide. And that's not safe. That'd be safe around here. Also because I just don't want to get hurt. I get hurt. I get minor cuts and nicks on my hands enough just doing my day job. Like no. Not happening. We're not doing that. We're not getting into that. That. Keep getting this chopped up and then a little bit. And go into the fire world. Because, yeah. Cut this up. I'm curious about my tea. How's this turning out? Huh. I guess I did take it off a little too early. Kinda it's warm. It's not lukewarm, but it's just warm. So I think once I take that kettle off, I'll just splash a bit of that. What should be warm water. And we'll see what we get. And then we'll dice up one more onion. Okay. Whoa, fire. Hey, now. Easy with throwing smoke in my face. Don't appreciate that. That into here. Gather this up. Then I'm gonna take that. Let's see. This is what I want. Ooh, yeah. That's actually got a bit of steam coming. Actually, I should probably take a sip, then I'll just splash some warm water. Well, actually, hot water. And then I'll set this off to the side. Oh, my fire's smoking a lot. And I'll put that pokey bit so close to me. Trying to think about my order of operations. Actually, I'm gonna want this burning bit closer to me. Then we'll add a fresh piece in the center. Yeah. That should work out pretty well. Should. We'll see how it actually turns out. Oop. Come on. Actually, I should probably bring my rebar in just here. And then on this side of the world, can I hook you up? I can hook you up, but I got that little thing that's ever so slightly hanging me up. Hung up here. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. So that should get us a pretty good amount of heat. Pretty good amount of fire. Looks like a pretty good amount. I think it was smoking a lot earlier because my heat got too low. So I wanted to go ahead and throw another piece on and see if I couldn't get the heat bumped up a little bit. That onion's good though. I really like that onion. Woo! What else is it? What else has been going? What else do I plan to do? I don't know. Life's just generally been good. For me, personally. granted, like, the big thing for me was I finally got my HVAC journeyman's license Friday night, which was a thing that I have spent a fair amount of effort on trying to get, and also just dealing with government agencies. So it was real nice to finally get that and have that be done. So it's a thing off my to-do list, and a big thing. That is the thing that work was getting onto me about, so that's a big load off my shoulders. Well, I mean, in kind of less fun news. Woo! Okay, we're gonna have a hot fire. I'm cool with that. I did get my property tax notice yesterday. Yep, yesterday. And taxes this year is actually lower, so that's a nice thing. Because I don't have an escrow account that I pay my property taxes out of. I just save up money and then I pay it off. So when I save up, because I usually save up about $2,700 for my property taxes, and I have to pay $2,400, so I'm over by like $300, so that's good. Whew. Oh, that's fun. Oh man, yeah, I definitely need to have like a small heat shield or something. Need to make that next. That's something I need to make off stream and have ready for like stream. Because yeah, it is a little troublesome when anything on my like little work table here gets unnecessarily warm. And who knows, I could probably do a thing where like I have like I could probably have like a bunch of stuff like here and here, but like everything on like this side of the knife I could have like a blank spot, and then that's just like a little like warming area. But I am still very much in the beginning of my my Campfire cooking journey as a silly streaming anime man. I am still very much new to all this stuff. But it's definitely been fun so far. I don't regret doing it. We'll have one more onion to dice up. So we'll have onion to dice up, and then we can start working on peppers. Ooh, yeah, that tea's good and hot now. Who knows? Maybe one of these days I'll get good at slicing veg while not looking at my hands. I'm definitely practicing, but I'm not going to express more confidence than necessary. Because overconfidence is how you hurt. Honestly, overconfidence is how you hurt yourself with a knife. Is when you think, oh, I got this, it's no big deal, and you slip and you whoopsie doodles, and you're now hurting and you need a band-aid. Which is an unideal outcome for anyone. Really. Like, not good to get hurt. And also, like, getting your blood into your meals probably not the best way to raise the iron content of it. Okay, so that's the onions done. I'm gonna grab. Do I use this bowl? Or do I want to use this bowl for peppers? I'll use this bowl for peppers. We'll have that bowl for peppers. Onions, I'll actually place at my feet. And I have just a little bit of my cold tea. And that's that taken care of. Woo! Okay. Let's grab a good handful. Okay, so a couple of them. Start out with these. Actually, go ahead and grab all 6. Because you can kind of see how they're starting to have a little bit of a wrinkled texture to them. Gosh, it's really hard for me to have my hand there. But that wrinkled texture is like the peppers losing their moisture. And that is unideal for pepper storage. Because eventually they'll get like so like dehydrated and uncrinkly. They're just not good peppers anymore. Not good peppers anymore. I want to get them used up, so they're going to be an addition to this dish. Oop. I want to have a because I do want to make sure I have a pretty good like fine dice with them. Just because, hey, that's what I want. Because they're going to be going into the sauce, and for like peppers in a sauce, I definitely want a pretty fine dice. Whereas if I was using these like in a salad, I could probably go with something a bit more like the size of my thumbnail, versus I want stuff closer in size to my pinky thumbnail. Man, that fire's now that fire's throwing smoke at me, which I don't appreciate. I probably say that too much. Like, hey, fire, I don't appreciate that. And I do appreciate the fire. Just something nice about working over a fire. Bloop. Okay, so 2 peppers of stuff, and honestly, all these peppers don't amount to like a lot of like room. So I'm just gonna keep dicing and making my little like pepper pile bigger and bigger, because oh no, my stomach's growling. But hey, that just means I'll be able to eat a lot of the food I'm making, because I will be making a fair bit of food. So the ground beef packet that I've got, it's 1 3/4 pound of ground beef, which I feel like is a fair amount. So, and then I'll also be preparing a full package of pasta, which I think is like a 1 pound? Let me see. What do I got? Yeah, 1 pound. 1 pound, 16 ounces. So, that's also like another thing is like, since I'm going to be throwing like a reasonable amount of meat at it, I definitely want to have a good, like, balance it out with some like good veg. Like, meat's a good how do I say this? Supporting role in the dish. Like, I feel like with meat and the umami that it brings, it's definitely like a really strong supporting character. But I don't like the whole idea of meat as like the main character of a dish. And actually, all my favorite dishes are dishes where lots of different ingredients all come together to make a really good dish. Sort of like a big reason why I'm a huge fan of Straw Hats is because, like, that's just good. And it's all a whole bunch of ingredients basically working together to make a good meal. Okay, so that is pepper number 5. Our final pepper number 6. I want to make sure I have all this broken up, because all gonna go into the sauce. And this is actually my first time making sauce from scratch. So. I definitely have made plenty of spaghetti in my lifetime, but I've not made my sauce from scratch before. So that aspect of like today's meal is gonna be new to me. Granted, that's also like one of the fun things about doing this. Doing new stuff I've never done before. Okay. For you, and then we're gonna up all of you. And then I'm actually gonna my cutting board anymore. I don't think I'm using my cutting board anymore, so I just have to find a spot to set it. The peppers, I'm just gonna keep them from getting blasted by the heat of the fire and stuff. But so it's a little early to do a BRB, but I've got to adjust one thing on my setup. And I'm also just gonna, since I also have to do that, I'm gonna do that, hit the restroom, and then we'll actually start and get into the cooking and everything. So, be right back. Okay, and I'm back. So, one of the things I had to kind of sort of fix was my little sun shield for my iPhone, because on a previous one of these Sunday morning streams, my iPhone overheated, and yeah, and it wasn't happy, and I wasn't happy that it wasn't happy. So I wanted to get that fixed. And also because we're about to get into the cooking. But I gotta find all the things I need. So this is the pot we're going to be using for sauce, which already comes pre-installed with sauce. So we got that. And I guess also just like another note from like what I'm doing today versus like what they did in the show is they used canned meat sauce for this dish. I'm not going to use canned meat sauce simply because because of the amount of extra meat I'm throwing into it with the pound and a third. Stick to your standard stuff, Doogie. But yeah, pound and a third, and which I feel like is plenty of meat for today's sauce dish, what have you. And also just I'm gonna let pan heat up a little bit for just, I don't know, I don't think it should take too long. And then we'll start throwing the onions in. We'll caramelize and cook the onions till they're tender. Then we'll add the meat, and then we'll brown it in there. And then at that point, we'll start throwing in some sauce. And we're probably going to water these two down. Is my game plan. Ooh. My screen did a spooky thing. Okay. Or my eyeballs are betraying me because they have a lot of smoke in them. It could be either or. So. How hot that is just yet, but I'm gonna just throw some onion. Ooh, getting a nice sizzle. Okay, okay. Oh. Yeah. And I'm gonna be generous with my... I'm not gonna throw all of my 2 onions into this, but I'm certainly gonna be generous. Which I think... sure. Be very generous with my onion addition. Wait. This container had a lid that I just found. So, put the lid back on the onions. And set it to the side. I love setting stuff to the side because then I don't have to worry about it anymore. Go ahead and get the ground beef out. So yeah. So we'll probably try to get these onions to the point where they're about translucent or so. So we'll just be cooking the onions for a little while. Man, I was a little nervous with like the amount of heat this was gonna have, and nope, we've got heat. We've got plenty of heat. Thinking I'm gonna mess with my fire a little bit, just a little bit. I'm gonna push some of this stuff over, kind of get this a bit further down. Partially because I kind of want to create a slightly cooler area here. Oh, wow. Man, I really gotta work on how I do this stuff. I need to come up with a better way to keep smoke out of the garage, which I'm pretty sure I know what I should do. And that is, I should basically just point a fan into the garage from like the rest of the house, and then just have that fan pull in air, have it push air into the garage, and then that way it will put positive air pressure in the garage, so all the air here will want to escape, and then that'll just push the smoke out. Which I really should do it. Really should just do. Should just do an experiment on stream or something at some point. But yeah, so we're not looking too hot, which is good, good, good. Because we're not burning anything. Everything's just cooking nicely. So I think we're doing pretty okay with our heat. And if I just need to like adjust it a little bit, it'll be no big deal. Actually, I need to grab my forkadoodles. I should have a forkadoodles. No, I have not the forkadoodles I wanted, but the forkadoodles I got. I'm gonna kind of work on positioning a lot more of my fire towards the back, so that way it can create like kind of a cooler spot here. Let's see if I can't drop you. Ooh, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. There we go. And then if I can just pull you to the side. There we go. We've got this log. We've got our log that was once sitting on these two logs. We got it dropped down, so there's a bit more of an air gap. And that way, we have a little bit more, because we're not looking like we're super hot, heat-wise. I mean, I'm at least managing to be able to, manage my, my stuff. But I do want to be real careful with the heat. Because whenever you're working with like because like wood is like kind of tricky as a thing to cook with, simply because as a heat source to cook with. Because of the variability in heat output. So I always try to be like because if I'm a little bit cool with my temperature, then that gives me, I can just do a slightly longer cook time and I'll be fine. Whereas if I do the opposite and I'm too hot, then I start burning stuff. And I don't want to burn stuff. Burning stuff is bad. Yeah. And also these onions are smelling really amazing, by the way. But yeah. Because they are kinda... You can kinda see that they're kinda starting to singe a little bit, but I don't think anything too terrible. Because I think we'll let this cook for just a hair bit longer. With just the onions. And then we'll start adding... Then we'll add the ground beef. So let's see here. I think I'll just wait a minute. I'll wait a minute, add ground beef, start cooking. Start getting the ground beef browned up. And then once the ground beef is browned up and cooked through, because that is a tricky thing with the meat, is you have to cook it thoroughly to not get poisoned or any of that not fun stuff. So yeah, get it thoroughly cooked, then we can start doing sauce, and we'll start adding. Once we get the sauce going, I will also, well, get sauce in, get a decent amount, see what we got going on, because I think I'm probably going to end up with too much sauce, which is fine, because if I do, I can freeze some, and then the next time I buy noodles, I can just buy some noodles, and then unfreeze it, and then that will be sauce for that next meal. Because that is a thing I have to do, is when I do these, like, streams and stuff, like, I'm just cooking for little old me. And sometimes I end up with a fair amount of leftovers. So, I'm gonna preserve all my onions, all my wonderful, delicious onions. Okay, ground beef. Let's get you on here. Woohoo! Ooh. And now I regret not having a trash bucket nearby. And then we'll start breaking up the ground beef. Oh man, that is wonderful smell. Very wonderful smell. I want to get some stirring on this. As I break it up. Oh yeah, this is just going to be a lot of stuff. Woo! Granted, the heat's starting to affect my hand a little bit. Ooh. I want to keep taking this ground beef and breaking it up into small little chunks. And actually, it's becoming challenging. Excuse me a minute. I need to grab a glove. Okay. I'm back with glove. I can't use my big thermal gloves because they're just honestly way too stiff. Okay. So we're just gonna be sitting here working this, making sure all the ground beef cooks through, and also trying to make sure we get it into as small bitty chunks as we can, because this is pasta. Kind of want the meat to be minced up. Actually can't really. Well, I can't see the far side, the side of the pot that's closest to me, so I can keep trying to turn it over, but making pretty good progress. And I was a little bit concerned that I may have gotten the heat a little too high and I would have started burning things, but right now we are good. We are good. The olive oil's doing its job. Nothing sticking to the bottom of the pot. Just gotta keep breaking stuff up, stirring. And once we get everything cooked, goodness gracious, this is gonna make an absurd amount of sauce. Oh my goodness. I am very deeply glad that I am just willing to... I'm glad I'm throwing at least 2 cans of tomato sauce at it. Granted, I do know I want, like, more tomato sauce than I do want, like, beef. And the tomato sauce is actually pretty thick, so... I'm expecting to water it down once I get it all in here. Okay. So the beef is almost cooked through. Because the cool thing about making sauce like this is, even if you don't get it like perfect, you're still good because you're going to continue cooking it past where it's not like we're just gonna like cook it and then take it off. But yeah, got a nice sizzle to it. Almost done with this tea too. Ah. Hell yeah. Threw that tea bag straight into the garden. Go ahead and put my next thing of tea here. Let's see. Haha. Oh. Got some green tea to enjoy. Oh wow. Wow. Huh. This ground beef has got a bit more fat in it than I thought. I think it was only. Kirkland said it's only like a 7%, which is like a real low amount for like a ground beef, like 7% fat. Like that's actually like usually like a more premium. But I mean, this is also Kirkland brand. Kirkland's a good brand. But yeah, this is good. This is really good. So, take my glove off. Grab one container of sauce. Boop. There we go. Spot to stick it. And then just dump some sauce in. I'm gonna grab a thing of water. And this is actually a traditional technique of mine. Is I just use like a little bit of water to kind of rinse off my lid. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of water to this. Give it a nice swirl. And dump that in. Oh yeah, there's actually I can see a decent amount of like fat from the beef eating on the surface. So then with that, I have a clean container. And I get all my like pasta, all my sauce into here. So I'm gonna. So with the first edition, I'm just gonna go ahead and give this a stir. Just because I want to like get everything nice and mixed up. Tremendous amount of sauce. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to freeze this. Just want to make sure I scrape that bottom really good. I think it's actually not like actively like really boiling or interesting. I thought it would actually like hit boiling a little bit quicker than what it has. I thought I'd just throw that stuff in there and then just be like really, really warm and hot. But it's not. So I'm just gonna just chill for a little bit when it comes to throwing more sauce in here, simply because I kind of want that to warm up fair amount. I at least want to, like... Okay. Start... I do see the surface kind of going up and down, suggesting that boiling is happening. Because I do want to keep this warm. I want to keep it very warm. Because it has meat in it. And I have to cook meat thoroughly. And I just... Well, I don't want it to cool down such where... Like, oh. But, oh yeah, it's bubbling. Eat. Oh man. I'm starting to get good at this. I'm starting to get real good with all this heat control. I am. And then we'll go more pastas. And then I want to give my bid a rinse here. As I do. It's reasonably clean. Doesn't have to be perfect. Because it's not going into the recyclables yet. Because I will probably... So, when I prep all this stuff for, like, recycling, I'm definitely going to take a little extra effort to get everything cleaned up. Because I try to have very clean recyclables. There's people... There's people out there that don't try to put the effort to have, like, super clean recyclables. And I'm a guy who believes in recycling, and I try to have, like, really clean recyclables. Because that can actually ruin a whole, like, batch of recyclables. Ah. Woo. Oh man, that water's like perfect. Perfect for, like, tea. Wonderfully good for tea. But let's go ahead and give our pasta sauce a stir. Granted, this is actually turning out to be a really like fun, neat recipe. It's got components to it because we're gonna have this. We're gonna eventually have, like, the noodles, but it's not overly complicated. Which is nice. And then dump our peppers in there. Actually, I'm gonna grab a screenshot of that. Because, yeah. Like me some peppers. And it just looks cool with all the, like, green peppers on top like that. But yeah, I think it's pretty good as far as, like, the ratios of, like, ingredients and stuff. Like, we're not, like, super... My biggest concern was my meat sauce was going to be, like, too meaty, and I didn't want that. I wanted a balance between my ingredients, so... I think I'm good. I'm happy. I'm a happy camper. I'm a happy camper with my butt in a camping chair. But I'm not camping. I'm at the homestead, but hey, this is fun. I'm having fun. Okay, cool. So I've got a few more ingredients here for the sauce. So I'm gonna do for my next ingredient, I'm gonna do a cube of, and this is called for in the original recipe, and that is, oh gosh, the glare, it's terrible. Here, it's beef bouillon cube, and I think in the show, Wakota added like 1 to 2 or 3. Granted, he was making a lot more food than what I was making. So for what I'm doing today, 1 cube is plenty. Small piece of trash, and then we're done with the bouillon. Yay! Then I'm gonna really give this a mix. so I can get that beef bouillon mixed in there. Yeah, it's starting to look like pasta sauce now. This is nice. This is gonna be very nice. Sure, I'm scraping the pan and stuff. Granted, I definitely have like a. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it a little bit. You can see a little bit of like the fat from the beef, like beating on the surface of the sauce. I'm currently tempted to add a little bit of olive oil, but I'm gonna hold on olive oil because I've got other things. Well, I don't know if plural's the right. I slid back into the chair. Okay, and have a spoon of doodle. Okay, spoon of doodle. So, my 2 additions for today's dish is going to be the peppers, and the second is going to be minced garlic. There you go. You can at least kind of see that a little bit better. So I am just going to give this. I'm going to actually be pretty generous with my garlic. Do 1. I'm going to do 2 spoonfuls because garlic is good. And also, that's the fun thing about when you make food for yourself is you can make it how you like it. And I'm a fan of garlic, and I'm gonna always happily add garlic to my meals. Then just excuse me while I be awkward because my cooler is kind of off to my side but behind me. We'll give this a really good mix, and I think we're almost done with our sauce ingredients. I think we're almost done with the sauce. Yeah. I do think I will probably add a little bit of olive oil, but I think I can wait on that. So, let's see here. How do I want to do this? Do I want to... Oh, let's see if I can bring this up. This way. Whoop. There we go. Actually, wait a second. Heavier. Too terribly heavy. Okay. So, just... give it a stir. Won't try not to. I'll try not to spill. Let that there. It. Hot water. And this is gonna be, actually, trying to figure out like where there is heat, but also is I want to do some coal manipulation. So I'm gonna take, I got some coals here. I'm gonna push them over to the side where I've got my pot. So that way I can kind of like, by manipulating coals, I can manipulate heat. Then we're gonna wait for this to boil, and then when it boils, we'll put in our sketty. Actually, wait a second. Ooh. With our water, let's add a little bit of salt. There we go. There we go. Also, take some time. You want to take a sample of the sauce. I want to see if I want to add salt to that. At some point. I'm just gonna kind of try to keep it at the edge of the world. I had a spoon. I had a spoon. There it is. Okay. Let's see. Take a little bit of a sample here. Oh my. Goodness gracious, that is good. Wow. Wow. Like, I was expecting like a solid okay, not like a solid great. Wow. Oh my gosh. Wow, that was good. That was really good. Okay, so I wonder, can I wanna bring the heat to my other side here? Because this log is actually... So this log I'm manipulating right now is actually off-gassing wood gas. If you spend enough time around fires, you'll notice at like some point, like, it'll seem like there's like a... I guess a jet flame? Jet flame's not the right word, but like a burning flame coming out usually at the end, which is actually what's happening right now. And that's actual wood gas. And that's actually a thing that happens is when wood heats up, it actually produces flammable vapors. That actually used to be a common way to do gaslighting. Not gaslighting in like what some people on the internet think it is, but like actual like gas lamps and stuff. Like the original burning gases that society traditionally would have used were made from wood and coal. So you would have like coal gas and wood gas. That's why when we discovered just, hey, there's like air buried underground, but it burns, and we can just drill it, and yeah, it just burns. Huh, it's natural gas. And that's where natural gas got its name from. But right now I actually have like a small little... it's not small, it's about the size of this salt shaker. Flame just coming out of the end of that log, and that's just like all the wood gas that's being created as the wood undergoes pyrolysis. If you were to get into like making charcoal, you can actually kind of like siphon off like that wood gas and actually use it to like burn stuff. Which there is a thing called fractional wood distilling, and one of the ideas I have like kicking around in the back of my head is to do that. But if I do it, I actually want to do it when I get my hands on some pine wood, because that's how you can attain pitch and tar. Pitch, tar, and turpentine. Turpentine. That's the solvent for the pitch. Let's see here. How's that water doing? The water's doing all right. You can see it's moving around. Don't worry about the floaty bits. We're not going to worry about the floaty bits. I probably should have. This guy should have started the water a lot sooner than when he actually did. But hey, that just means we're going to let our sauce cook for a while and have all those wonderful flavors meld together, which honestly, I kind of want to hit this with a little bit. Not a lot. Which that might seem like a lot of salt. That's definitely not a lot of salt. And I also kind of want to throw some olive oil into it, but I'm going to wait closer to serving time before I throw in that stuff. But yeah, we're looking good. We're just watching a pot. Well, they say watch pots never boil, but I know it's gonna boil because I've actually put a fair amount of this fire's heat. I think what I'll do is I'll bring this over as well, and then that will create, so basically the spot where we have our sauce, that's going to create a cool area. Granted, I'm pretty sure I'm starting to see a little bit of like steam vapor form on the top, but I don't see like my pot just boiling. Granted, I actually cannot see the bottom of my pot from here, so I can't see if like there's like a bunch of like bubbles. I cannot see that. But once I start to see like some good proper boiling, then I'm gonna throw my spaghetti in there. Granted, that the sauce smells so amazing right now, though, like incredibly. Since I have changed it just a hair, I'm gonna try a little bit more of it and see how it is. Oh man, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Just that little bit of salt was definitely what it needed, and it's real nice because I can actually taste the peppers in it. Like, I can taste the peppers, I can taste the onions, I can taste the beef, I can taste the bouillon we put in. And like everything has like melded together from a flavor standpoint like so well. Oh, big happy guy right now. Really big happy guy right now. I have my green tea. Now I just have to wait for my silly pot to boil, which I'm sure it will eventually, because yeah, there's a lot of heat under that water. I just really underestimated. I should have started this sooner and just like let it do its thing. And yeah, that's a bit of a mistake. So if we do any more pasta stuff, I will definitely keep that in mind. But we will be doing Italian tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Goodness gracious. But next Campfire cooking stream, we will be doing Italian. I don't know if it's going to be next week or not, though. We're going to make pizza, and we're going to make the dough from scratch. I don't think I will make the pizza sauce from scratch, even though I'm kind of like looking at the sauce I've just made and like, I originally intended it for it to be pasta sauce, but I think to make it like good pizza sauce, all I have to do is add some sugar to it. And then it would be a good pizza sauce. But actually, I actually had a good sauce recipe, and like there was a book I bought a few months back. It's grilling campfire. It's grilling recipes, but the way the recipes are structured is there's a lot of different ways you can grill your food, and that was a big thing I liked about it. It's called Project Fire. One of my friends, because the front of the book is like flame and coals, and it just says Project Fire. My friend, whenever he sees the book, he's like, "Oh, hey Sugi, a nice bomb book." And I'm like, dude, granted, I probably shouldn't be using that word on stream. YouTube might not like me for that, but yeah. But yeah, he calls it that for some weird reason. But I'm pulling the recipe for the pizza from there, And sort of my whole thought tangent right now is they actually had a recipe for like a meat sauce, like what I just made, but I saw that recipe was in there and was like cool, but like today is basically I'm basically pulling straight from the show with some modifications. From yours truly, because hey, I'm the one who has to eat this at the end of the day, and I'm gonna do what I want to do to make the recipe better for me. But yeah, we are literally at watching pot boil. Granted, it looks like it's getting really close. It's really hard to tell because I think it's steaming. I think I have steam coming off of it, but I don't know if that's just like smoke from the fire. It's really hard for me to tell. It looks like it's steaming though. But we are steaming here. But we're steaming at our meat sauce, but we're not actively boiling, which is really good. Which means our sauce is nice and warm, but it's not like burning, which hopefully means I don't have to be like super watchy with it. I also really like the consistency. Like, it's chunky, but it has a nice I want to use the word fluid. It's not super viscous. Like, it moves. It moves, but it's got like, I don't know. I like, it's the consistency of how I kind of like my soup, where it's like, it's chunky, but it's not like solid chunks. Also, but yeah, Brandon. Okay, that water is definitely getting there. Oh yeah, that's definitely not water I can keep my fingers in for long. So hopefully, sooner rather than later. Well, actually, probably in like 4 more minutes or so, I reckon we'll have a good boil, and then we can put our spaghetti in there, and yeah, we'll cook our spaghetti. Granted, I should probably read my instructions for my spaghetti. Made by the American Italian Pasta Company. And I was looking at different like brands of pasta to get, and I was trying to figure out like what I wanted to get, and I was kind of looking at like one of the premium brands from my like grocery store. And they actually had a pasta that was made in Italy, and it was literally just simoleon durum flour, and it was literally just one ingredient. Because when I do like some of my various like grocery shopping and stuff, I do base it off like the amount of ingredients. In this case, I actually picked what I have here today, simply because it also has like more ingredients. Granted, the more ingredients is niacin, ferrous sulfate. Ferrous sulfate is iron. Oh my gosh, my tummy is grumbling terribly. Vitamin monotrate, riboflavin, folic acid. Literally, this is just fortified pasta. Whereas the other pasta I was looking at, the other spaghetti, that one was just basically wheat flour. Just wheat flour. Which is fine. Honestly, it's like... Add salt. I have not tested. Water. Granted, I can't even really tell that I threw salt in it. So I suppose I should just add some more. Granted, haven't also stirred. Oh, let's see, I should have a stirring implement. A suitable stirring implement over here. Just give it a good stir. And then mix in that little bit. Just let a little bit of the water drip off. I can kind of taste the salt, but I'm not gonna get... Salt's good, but, you know, too much is not good for you. Granted, thankfully, I don't have to... The good thing about drinking tea, like I do, is, I don't think I have to worry about getting too much salt. Because tea is really good at, like, flushing stuff out of you. So, I'm gonna go ahead and give my sauce a stir, because it is warm on this side of the world. Because I'm putting all of my heat over here. Granted, that sun's actually starting to get to the other side of the house, which is nice. Granted, today has also been real nice weather-wise. I'm really happy with that. But man, I was expecting like a nice like roar and boil out of that thing by now. The pot, it's steaming. I'm definitely very sure that it is steaming, but it's not like boiling. And the pan's hot though. Just taking a while. Taking a while. And my silly butt has to be patient, I guess. Got still got a good amount of like sipping tea. Yeah. Granted. I'm awaiting. I'm gonna crazy. This was good. Oh my gosh. It's like rich, but it's not like too rich. And I definitely just threw in just enough peppers to give it like a nice pepper flavor. And even though these are Anaheim peppers I put in, which are peppers that have some heat to them, it's not like hot. It's real pleasant. I really want this water to start boiling so that way I can look forward to actually having like pasta for lunch. Because, man, the sauce has so far turned out amazingly well. Very happy with. And now I just have to, which is funny because the sauce is kind of like the hard part. And now all I have to do is boil noodles. Finish off. Green tea. A little bit left there. So, do our final tea packet of the day, which, if the glare of the sun, we're doing English Rose. I really like this one. Real pleasant. That in there. Crash off. Grab one glove of doodles. Grab another glove of doodles. I want to use this. And I don't know how hot that water is. I think it's cooled down a pretty significant bit. Let's see here. Yeah, it's definitely cooled down. That's fine. I have a source of hot water somewhat relatively available. I could have just ladled the water from the Boil. Wait, but I added salt to that. Okay, Sugi, don't think about things too hard. Don't think about things too hard, buddy. Instead, just worry about putting the appropriate amount of heat under your big bucket of water, which is definitely the mistake of the day. But that's a fine. I mean, it's a fine mistake because it just means I have to be patient. It's not like the thing that scares me the most about doing what I'm currently doing would be something like along the lines of if I was to like spill all this sauce on my driveway or something. Because one, well, it's spilled. I wanted to eat that was food. I wanted to eat, and it's not edible anymore. And if that happened, it's plenty edible now. But that's the thing that scares me the most. That's the thing that scares me the most. But that's also why I kind of have like the ladle, is so that way I can ladle the pasta sauce out of here. Without like having to like really move it around or anything. Granted, I'm almost tempted to throw a little bit more wood on my fire, but ooh. I think I'm starting to see bubbles. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. So we finally have some bubbles forming here. It's still pretty slow. So we're just gonna give that a little bit longer. Hopefully not too much longer. But I just want it to be at like a really good, like decent boil before we throw in our pasta. Yes, Tommy, I know. Okay, so that's also the other side of me not getting this going as soon as I should have, is my stomach is reminding me of why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. It's been grumbling at me a few times, but I think it's definitely gotten a little bit more eager after seeing how well this has turned out. But that's also been like if I wasn't doing what I'm doing right now, honestly, my lunch would have probably just been like me reheating a frozen pizza. Well, not reheating, but just cooking a frozen pizza. Which, don't knock frozen pizza, by the way. Frozen pizza's great, especially if you get like the good frozen pizzas. And also I like to dress up my frozen pizza. Usually what I'll do for most of the frozen pizza is I'll add a little bit of olive oil to the top before I cook it, and then after I finish cooking it, I'll hit it with some granulated garlic and basil, which right now, November 3rd, I still have fresh basil in the garden. I've already pulled because we did have probably 2 weeks ago, we did get like a frost freeze warning. So I pulled peppers, I pulled tomatoes, I pulled basil, I pulled a lot of stuff out of the garden. Just because it was like, I might lose it if I don't. Well, guess what? I didn't lose it. So, well, we didn't actually get the frost and freeze quite like we thought we would. So, I have basil still growing in my garden. and I'll be using that. And then once we do get a proper freeze, which last time I checked weather, which probably this morning, I still in the 2-week forecast do not have a proper freeze. And it's November for where I'm at, which is just wild. Just wild. It is weird to sit here, look at my garden, and see healthy tomato plants next to currently rotting pumpkins. Wild. And I also see some like small potato plants, because when I did the potato harvesting, I thought I was really thorough going through that dirt. I missed some tubers. I missed some tubers. Okay. So, I'd like to consider myself a reasonably patient human being, and I think I'm at the limit of my patience, but it also does look like the, let's see, do I want to cook all of this? I think I'll just do half the packet, because half the packet should be enough food for now, and some leftover noodles for, like, tomorrow's dinner. Because I'll probably keep some of this for tomorrow's dinner. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey now, hey now, hey now. So, I'm just gonna grab a rough handful of the pasta, and I am going to add the pasta. Oh wow. Okay. For a second I almost thought like it all went in, and it didn't. So, like it all like completely submerged. What else? I don't know. I'm distracted. I started talking about gardening stuff, and now I'm distracted. Granted, so I was at one point in time thinking about going pretty heavy in with my stream schedule for next week. I was actually thinking about doing 4 streams, and then I realized I have an EPA woodshed video to make that I have made no progress on. I'm only going to be doing 3. It's going to be like it's going to be like this week, which was 3 streams. Which I think 3 is like a really good healthy number. But I mean, I'm also really happy that I managed to pull off what I've done on a week where I was on call, because I was on call this week, which usually means like additional having to like talk to people, and worst case scenario I actually have to like go to someone's house and like fix their furnace or something. Nothing like truly terrible, it's just like additional responsibilities. But that's also like that's why I started doing like some of the gaming stuff, was because it's like I like doing this. Like this type of stuff what I'm doing here right now is like the stuff I like to do the most. Like this is my favorite thing. This is the thing. This is why I became a VTuber. Because I wanted to make stuff that I wanted to watch. This is the type of stuff I would love to watch. Yeah. But I do want to like be mixing in like, I'm probably moving forward only going to do like 1 gaming stream a week, just because it's just like I can, generally speaking, as long as my setup is in the more shop-based setup, I can just go to my setup, boot game and just do stuff. Granted, the game stuff has also been a little bit more tech heavy and also a lot more. It's been a little bit more challenging with like the various like the tech stuff. Which I genuinely thought I was dealing with a fair amount of tech stuff doing what I'm doing right now. No, that's not the case. Gaming streams are definitely a whole other thing. Okay, so my pasta definitely looks to be in there. Granted, I think one of the things I have going against me is I probably have way too much water in here. Which I think that is the thing I'm going to just go ahead and do now. So I'm just going to go ahead and just take some of this water out. Because if I get this water out, and if my heat level remains the same, then the heat has less water to heat up. I think that's like the biggest thing that's been like affecting whether or not this like actually like gets like warmed up or not, has been there's probably close to like a gallon of like water in. Also, kind of just also eyeing whether or not I want to add firewood. And I don't even know if I could. Don't know if I could. Things are currently really challenging on that front. Because I do have this small gap here, but I don't think that's enough of a gap. I have plenty of room on the back half of my fire pit. And apparently I have neighbors in there having conversations. And it doesn't seem to be very positive conversation. Well. Hey, smoke. Nope. Please don't. Don't come into here. Appreciate it. Guess I just give that pasta a stir. Really hard to... It's doing. Noodles are definitely stiff. But I do want to make sure they're not like sticking together. Which I think that's like another thing. When you add salt to your pasta water, is that it helps with that. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna do some things. So, I'm actually gonna run away. Simply because I gotta run to the other side of the world, throw this piece of wood on. I'm gonna throw it on from the backside, and I'll be right back. Just because I want a little bit more. And we're back. Oh. Because I do want to have like a nice bit of like coals and stuff once everything is said and done. I'll probably keep this fire going for a little bit longer. But yeah, we should start seeing... Well, I'm already on my side of the world, starting to see some good amount of flame. Wowzers, this is... I'm really glad I have a long-handled thing for this. And that... Noodles are definitely... I definitely just don't have my water as hot as I should. I have failed greatly. But with that additional chunk of firewood, you should be seeing a little bit of fire there under it. That should really help bring up the heat in a big way. Granted, our lovely meat. A little bit. Just so that way, like a different side of the pot getting warmed up. But hopefully we'll be done cooking in about 10 minutes or so. That's what I'm going to hope for. That is my hope. I don't know if I'll be correct or not. Yeah, I should have really cranked. I'm glad I moved all my coals and wood in this direction just to really bump up the heat. But yeah, I didn't get it hot enough. And then with the wood starting to burn down and stuff, I was starting to lose heat because at one point I did. What's that? Melted stuff on the tip of my thumb. Where did that glue? Feels like glue. Huh. I actually know where that's from. Actually, that came from the pasta packet. So. Kind of funny thing. So when I had the little box of pasta here, it was warming up, particularly the glue at the end, and I have a little bit of glue stuck to the end of my finger. When I opened it up, I dipped my finger into the glue, and then the glue solidified on my cooler finger. What's that? That looks... reminded me of PVC glue. I was like... I haven't touched PVC glue this morning. Like, at all. Like, what's that doing on me? And then I remembered the tip of the pasta packet was a little sticky. Those noodles are looking good. What if I use too big of a container? Honestly, use a big container for lots of water, but pasta looks good. Let's see here, and I'm adventurous. Actually, do this. Nope. I almost know for a fact that these aren't cooked. Try. Yeah. The core on these is still a little solid. So those are going to need to cook for a while longer. At least want to get them, like, reasonably soft. Which, I don't know all the various, like, different, like, hardnesses, because I know some people like them really soft, some people like them a little bit of, I guess you could say, like, stiffness. Like, you don't want crunch. Crunch is bad. Crunch is, you screwed up. Well, crunch is, you did not cook it enough. But you do want to have, like, just a bit of, like, I guess, firmness. Firmness, that's a good word for the noodles. Granted, adding that extra piece of firewood, I feel like is going to really make the difference for me in terms of getting the heat up, and also probably taking some of that water help too. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I'll do. I was briefly considering, like, I have a strainer for the pasta once it's done. But I was trying to think of, like, a container to stick it in, and I realized my little, like, bowl that I just had. This will probably hold the pasta, because I don't have a lot. So, I'll be good on that. Woo! Starting to kick up some ashes. That smoke. But man, there's definitely not enough good I can say about today. Mostly because of like this, like the weather has now like become truly perfect for doing what I'm doing. Yeah. Granted, right now I'm because one of the things I'm probably going to do after stream is make next week's stream schedule. And I'm really debating to not do 4 streams next week, because in Rome Total War we're basically one stream away from finishing the short campaign. I want to get back to the Japanese sawhorses. I want to get back to those, and I do know a way where I figured out a way to cut my tongues for my tongue and mortises, where I can do at least half the cuts at the miter saw, and that should help speed up the cutting process on that. Granted, I still have no good idea to make the mortises better, but, well, I have one good idea for the mortises, and that is to make a template and then have the edges of the template be like flush with my wood, and then I can just like stencil. Once I center or determine the edges, I should be able to it will help me more quickly stencil out where I want to put my mortises if I get a template. So I will be doing that at some point. And the great debate right now is whether or not my weekend stream is brewing beer or campfire cooking. And if the weather just continues to be like this, absolutely amazing, I'd rather do some campfire cooking. I'd rather be doing what I'm doing right now. Let's see. Now finally starting to get some actual proper heat to this side of the world. But yeah, I got stuff to think about. Because if I didn't have the woodshed project video, I could easily do 4 streams. But right now, it's not the case. I do also have to remember that I am volunteering next Saturday, so I probably shouldn't be doing 4 streams, because if I volunteer on Saturday and were to stream on it, then it's no time to get homestead chores taken care of. Which the leaves have properly fallen where I'm at. Well, most of them. Some of the trees still got a decent amount of their leaves, but the main tree that I pick up leaves from, my sugar maple, it's dropped all of its leaves for the most part. And what I do every year is I gather up some of those leaves to make leaf mold. And what leaf mold is, you basically take leaves, and in my case, I put them in a standard trash can, a standard round trash can, and I just pack them in there real dense and tight. And then I leave that sit and I let it sit somewhere. I let it sit somewhere where it can get rained on, but not. I don't want the sun to beat on it, because if the sun, if it received a lot of sunlight, the sunlight would dry it out. And make leaf mold, you want your leaves to rot. So I want my leaves to rot. And basically what happens after it can take 2 to 3 years, but you'll end up with like a really like black, crumbly, really organic substance called leaf mold. And I've been experimenting with using it as starter. Well, seed starter, potting mix. And I've been reasonably happy with its performance, mostly because buying like the standard stuff can be kind of expensive. Like a good sized bag is like $7, I think, something like that. And also a lot of those mixes, seed starting mixes you buy from like your like big box stores or like your garden centers or what have you, have peat moss in them. And generally here in North America, a lot of peat moss is harvested from bogs up in Canada. And some of that harvesting that takes place is not like super sustainable, because basically what peat moss is moss that grows, falls into bog, and then just proceeds to, and because it's in like basically a no oxygen environment, and I kind of know the word, the fancy word for an environment that has no oxygen, but I'm not going to try and say it right now because I know I'll screw that up. It basically kind of decomposes, but not like completely. And it basically, the thing is the process of peat formation is just horrendously slow. Like trees grow in like thickness quicker than peat moss forms. So it's definitely an issue. I know some other like gardening YouTubers have like kind of like talked about it and kind of talked about like alternatives for peat moss and potting mixes. One popular alternative is what's called coconut coir. It's not, I'm saying core, but it's like coir. It's C-O-I-R, I believe. And it's basically like this really like fibrous mass. It's actually the outer husks of coconuts. And that is definitely a more sustainable stuff, because I mean coconut trees produce coconuts like annually. Or I don't know. I'm not from an area where coconut trees grow, so I'm not 100% sure on the oftenness of coconut production, but basically that is it's a much more harvestable material. And also it comes from like the fruit of a tree, so you're not like damaging the natural environment. You're not taking something out that cannot regrow. Like you take a coconut off a coconut tree, and that's just a coconut tree with one less coconut. It's fine. But yeah, that's considered a reasonably okay alternative. One issue with it is pretty big whoopsies. That's a big that was a big whoopsies. Please pretend you did not see that. Please pretend that. Oh goodness gracious. Okay, well that's definitely the biggest okay, hopefully that will just be the fumble of the day. But thankfully that spot's cool because it doesn't look like I terribly burned it. Whew. But yeah, coconut coir, it's a thing. The other replacement is leaf mold, which that's something I can make at home, at the homestead, all that good stuff. So I finally got like a really good consistency of the stuff, like get it like nice and broken down enough to use this year for seed starting, and then I still have plenty left over from past years, but I'm always like taking it because I've got 3 containers, and all these trash cans have like a little bit. And I'm always like taking some from one and adding it to the other, and like the last one in the line has like the most broken down, organic-y, black, the good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. So I'm gonna grab some pasta, and we'll see where we're at with the pasta. I can just grab a bit. Yeah, just a little bit. All I want. Thank you. Thank you very much. Ooh, yeah. That feels a lot better. It's soft. It's soft with a bit of a firm texture. So, we're really close. I think, honestly, I would probably just give it like 2 to 3 minutes, and I'll call it dunsies. But yeah, we're really close with the noodles, so we're almost done there. But yeah, once again, my apologies for... I should have got this pot of water going a lot sooner than I did, and... yeah, we're currently paying for it. I'm currently paying for it. And I guess you guys are kind of paying for it a little bit in the sense of... you just having to, like, listen to me ramble about gardening topics while we wait for our noodles to cook. Granted, I saved myself from my fumbles, so treat myself to a little bit. It's a little bit there. Wow. Oh man, spectacular. Spectacular. Hard part. But I'm not going to think about that just yet. Because honestly, what? My little Grabadoodles is pretty good at Grabadoodling. So I think I'll be able to pull out all the noodles I want for my plate. Actually, I need to make room. We're getting close to chow down time. So, might as well start prepping for food. Out of the way. But I'm probably just gonna like Grabadoodles my noodles into here, and then I'm gonna get up and drain the rest of that. Or who knows? I might be able to grab all my noodles out of there. Because I do have the thing that goes with that. The thing with the holes, the coriander. Oh! Huh. That really yellow shit. Huh. I'm gonna grab a screenshot of that, because it's really weird how that just, like, yellowed everything. Makes me think there is some way to fix the color correction on this camera. Because if it does weird things like that, then... who knows, maybe I can make it do weird things in the way I want it to do. It's been good. Today's been really good. It's having one of those moments where I wish I could be a bit more high energy as a streamer. I'm not a very high energy person. I can keep things positive. And I can kind of keep a conversation moving. But that's also like another thing about this is like I do want to get like better at talking. I'm definitely a little weak on that. But I mean, I was also homeschooled for like the last 6 grades of my educational career, if you will. So, not the best talker. Just never been the best talker, but gonna get better at it little bit at a time. I am gonna grow as a person. So it is this time. I think I am ready for grabbing some noodles. Just gonna reach in here, grab a whole bunch. Woo hoo! Hey now. Yep, these are definitely some cooked noodles. Whoop. Actually, can you? Let's see. I think maybe more grab. I don't know. Kind of hoping for like a bit more meatier noodles. Yeah, I think this will do me. That will do me on those. How am I? Because it's really hard for me to see all the. Granted, that water's kind of gotten a little cloudy. You know what? I'm just gonna have to drain that off. Because I know if I leave because if I let the noodles sit in there, they'll get soggy, and I don't want that. So, give me a minute, and I will get this. Woo. I definitely got that pop. It was a struggle to get it hot, but I definitely did get it hot finally. Okay. Oh. I would like to show you, but that pot's way too hot right now, so not gonna do that. So we're gonna do our plate. Ladle up some wonderful sauce. I really want to try and like nail the plating, like they did it in the show, which they kind of like did it like this, where like all the meat sauce was like in this. Like just like that. I just need to have a clean spot for that. I need the ultimate which was a real nice like touch in the show, because Makoto, when he made this, he got everything together. He was at this point. Actually, I wanna put this a little bit more out there. That way people can see it. And they were like, And, well, he was just like, this thing could use one more thing. And then he actually pulled up his like skill or whatever and literally ordered the thing that's in my hand. A craft canister of Parmesan cheese. So we're gonna finish off our meal with. I'm gonna be a little bit generous with my Parmesan cheese because I really like Parmesan cheese. Behind me in my little cooler, and then get to be all like, yeah. Oh wow, that's very liquidy. But yeah, there we go. This is our spaghetti with meat sauce from Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skill, Episode 3. Put that together there. Give this a... Wow. Oh, okay. Man, that's really good. Really, really good. I definitely think one of the key things that made paranoid about my sauce that makes this like pasta sauce really good is the fact that you add that little like cube of bouillon to it, which definitely gets you like a little bit more intense beef flavor, a bit more of that umami. But if you have like your meat balanced out by enough like other ingredients, it doesn't come through as being like too strong. Like it's there, it's very prevalent. It's like that nice like beef richness. Almost like what you can expect out of, not quite, but close to the richness you would experience from like a bowl of pho. And that's all just stuff to say that this is all just really good. Really good. And also well, you know, we are in proper afternoon hours, so enjoying a wonderful canister of beverage. Then I'm gonna leave that back there because I don't want it to get nuked by the fire. So I want to try a few more mouthfuls of that before I end the stream. Because I don't like I'm definitely not the type who's like, hey, I'm gonna make you sit here and watch me eat wonderful. But like that just turned out really well. I am actually good to you. So basically like a little chunk of beef I have right here with some Parmesan cheese on it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you cannot do a dish like this without Parmesan cheese. Parmesan cheese makes it just good, like good. My gosh. Absolutely lovely. Absolutely. Oh. Okay. I will also say, I really like I do like my executive decision to include peppers in this. Mostly because I think, I mean, here's the thing. I get the pepper flavor in the sauce, which is nice. It complements the onion, the beef, all that fun stuff really well. But yeah, it's just a nice compliment. And I think it helps balance out the richness of the beef. Because one of the things I probably have yapped about it way too much was like the fact that I was throwing 1.3 pounds of ground beef into this thing, but hey, between 2 cans of sauce, probably 1.5 onions, all that stuff, really definitely brought it into like a more normal balance of ratio of ingredients and what have you. So, absolutely spectacular. Is this a remake recipe? I would have to put it, well, remake in like, will I do this again? Because I don't. So one of the things I don't want to do, I don't want to be like constantly redoing like recipes here on the channel. I kind of want to do like new stuff all the time, which I'm going to do that for probably about as long as I can. I don't know. I definitely have done a bit more than what I have originally considered what I was originally envisioning when it comes to brewing streams. But brewing streams are kind of just fun in the fact that I'm a bit more in like my wheelhouse as far as like skill wise. Whereas like with the cooking over the campfire, it's definitely a little bit more challenging for me. But it just means too flat. So I feel like I'm a little bit more willing to be repeating myself with the brewing, but I don't know. Goodness gracious. But yeah. So, I have a wonderful meal here. I am going to enjoy it. I have a wonderful amount of mess to clean up. Not terrible. It's not terrible. I definitely think with this amount of sauce I have, I'm probably definitely going to have to freeze some of it. Granted, if I throw the rest of the sauce at the rest of the noodle, if I cook more noodles later this week, I might be able to get away with it. Or, actually, better plan, do freeze some of the sauce, and then, like, next week or something, then I cook the rest of the noodles up, and then I can have, like, leftovers from today, next week, or the week after, or, hey, if it's frozen sauce, I'm sure it would keep for at least a month or two. I'm gonna eat it sooner than that because I would like to have it, like, closer to fresh, but yeah. Weird things I gotta consider because I live by myself. And, like, this is a fair amount of food for little old me, so, yeah. And that's, like, another thing I want to kind of, like, focus on is, like, also, like, making sure I cook meals that I can eat everything. Not be eating leftovers for, like, ever or something. But I think I am being far too winded for my own good. Probably go ahead and end stream now. So, thank you very, very much to everyone who came out today. It was a great day. Had absolutely impeccable weather. Definitely well, actually we are going to do next week. But next week is going to be more involved. Because we're going to be making pizza dough from scratch. And when I was looking for, like, recipe ideas for today, I was like, I really want to do this, but I really want to sit on this. I want this recipe to sit on the back of my mind so I can think about it. So I can think about, like, the timing of the things and, like, all the fun stuff. That way I can hopefully better execute it, is my goal. Because we was a little on the weak side with the execution with getting the water for the pasta noodles to boil. Definitely could have done better work on that, but otherwise, everything's good. Everything's good. So, I'll see all you wonderful people sometime next week. I'll probably have a schedule posted both here on YouTube and on the Bird app before I go to bed tonight. That's all I can say. But yeah. I am going to have a wonderful rest of my day. I hope all of you do so as well. And regardless of what you got going on in your life, I hope you're living the best life you possibly can. And this is Sugi Yamagawa, and I'll see you all in the next one. Okay. Bye-bye.